Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Cathy.
And this is Maggie Mae. Join us as we follow the moon. Today, we are in Trails Lake Whitney in Whitney, Texas. First time we've been in this park, and we definitely want to show you all this park has to offer. There's over 5 miles of trails. It's horse trail available. There's camping for horse trailers. There's all kinds of amenity, and there's a lot of beautiful wooded spots. So come along, let us know what you think.
Thanks.
Now we're traveling down Route 933 coming out of Whitney, Texas. This is a map of the park. There's an entry at the front. There's 3 loops for camping. There's amenities at the front of the park and the back of the park. And then at the far back of the park is the lake.
And there's lots of trails.
Lots of trails. So you'll see signs along the left-hand side of the road as you come around this curve. And there is the entrance to Trails Lake Whitney. And we were here at a beautiful time of year. It was early in April. We had bluebonnets everywhere.
Oh, yes.
And everything, the leaves were out, the grass was green. It was really, really a beautiful time of the year.
Spring definitely had exploded.
Now, as you come back into the park, and we do have this sped up because there's a lot of ground to cover in this park, you'll see a sign here that'll tell you to check in to turn to the right. So we're going to bring you down this way. And on our right-hand side, this is the Welcome Center. And this is where you'll check in. Just beside that Welcome Center, you've got playgrounds. You've got a really nice miniature golf course. There's all kinds of activities right there. And on over just past that is a pool and a wading pool. And beside that is their activities center. It was locked when we were filming this, but they do have events in there. And you'll see more activities over by it. The horseshoes are there. Now this parking lot is a big circle, and you can see a lot of people will unhook their toads there or hook their toads back up there. We're just going to go around the parking lot here. It is nice and wide open, and even when there's a lot of traffic like there was while we were filming this, it's still easy to get around.
They're pouring in.
Yeah, it's a busy little park. And I say little just kind of in the number of sites. I think it's a couple hundred sites, but it covers a massive amount of area. Now there is a gate code. I happened to come through at a time that they were doing maintenance on the gate, but you'll enter your gate code, come on through, and as you do, here on the right hand side is their one and only dog park. And it is kind of far away from the camping sites, so most of the people you'll see just walking their dogs through the neighborhood. There's also a real nice sand volleyball court there. Just a short way up from there, on the left-hand side, is the loop for the dump station. And it is necessary in this park because there are a mix of 30 and 50 amp sites, and there are a mix of both with and without sewer.
A lot without.
Mm-hmm. We were fortunate enough to get a 30 amp with sewer, no problem. And there were some 50 amp with sewer available also.
And this right here is typical of what you're going to see. Lots of shade.
Mm-hmm. This is the D loop. This is the very first loop as you come in. It has its own bathhouse right there. We're going to take you just a short way back through the D loop. This loop, I believe, is about 50 sites. a lot of trees. They are trimmed up nicely, and depending what site you want to pick out, there are sites that'll fit any rig. There are some that are long, there are some that are trimmed up high. I didn't see anybody having any problem with limbs picking out sites. They've done a nice job keeping the sites open and usable.
The roads were a little rough.
Yeah, I will say of any fault with this park, the roads were definitely a problem. They were rough, and while we've been here, they have been patching some of those holes, but they need a good repave.
Yeah.
Now, as you come out of the D loop, you'll go past a couple of their cabins, and they do have pet friendly as well as no pet cabins available. Now we're back out to the main road. They have dumpsters at the end of every one of these loops. We're going to make a left and go back towards the next loop, which is the B loop. But on our way, we're going to come across the tennis courts, which are real nice. And we saw people playing pickleball out there too.
Yeah, their amenities were all kept up.
Very much. We've seen some tennis courts and basketball areas that didn't look so great in some of these parks, and these look very well maintained. Here on the left is the basketball area. Oh, on the right first is this area. There's picnic tables, there's disc golf set up. So you've got that on the right, and then right across from that is the basketball. And it's a full court, nice basketball court. And they do have lights up if you want to use them later in the day. Now we're going to continue back. And again, you'll start to see as we go up this little grade here, the roads have a lot of potholes, so you want to definitely take it easy. The speed limit on the main road here is 15 mile an hour. In each of the loops, it's 5 mile an hour. And like I said, we do have this sped way up. Sorry for the glare on the windshield, but it's a beautiful, bright, sunny day. And the drive back here is a pretty drive. We saw rabbits, we saw squirrels. We really didn't see any bigger wildlife, which surprised us.
It did surprise us.
But lots of birds. Woke up with the sound of birds every morning.
I totally expected deer.
Yeah, this looks like this should be deer country.
Yeah.
Now we're going to make a right here, and this is going to go into the B loop. And this is actually the loop where we were staying. And again, nicely wooded, lots of shade.
For as many people, it was quiet.
Yeah, this was one of the
most peaceful.
One of the most quiet, peaceful
Yeah.
parks we've been in. And our space will be coming up here on the right hand side, and you can kind of see what the space looks like. As far as, we had a full tree canopy, we had tons of shade and beautiful weather while we were here, so the air conditioners ran, but not all the time.
Yeah, and I love the way the road meanders.
Yeah, you can't look straight down the road. It keeps its little gentle curves all the way around. This was our campsite here. We'll go down the business side here and show you the hookups. We had a 30 amp box, and it is an older box, but the power was solid. Water, and then the sewer connection. All in the right spots.
Had no complaints.
No, this was our campsite.
And this is gorgeous.
You can see we've got a tree canopy, but nothing near the coach. picnic table. Some of the spots have fire rings. There's a few that actually have grills.
And that other table you see back there is also part of our spot. And it goes down to a trail that goes down to a creek.
So that was our site we had to look at out the window every morning when we woke up.
There was also a croc down there.
Yeah. Somebody had left one of their Crocs laying on that picnic table. It was camoed, so.
If it's yours, it's still there.
It's at the back of Site 33. So we just went around the bottom loop, and coming up here on the left will be the bathhouse for the B loop. Each of the loops have their own bathhouse. There's also one up front by the wading pool, and there's also one at the next activity center that we'll show you later. This is what the bathhouse looks like.
Now they're a little older, but they're very clean. I had no problem. In fact, you could actually smell their cleaning products, and that's always a refreshing thing to smell when you walk in. But
the floors were clean. Everything was kept very clean in these. But yes, you can tell they're a little bit older. Now there are a couple in this loop. There's a couple of roads that cross, like that one right there on the left, that'll cross between the loop we came in on and the one we're coming out on. But it's basically just a loop on this one. And I think this loop is around 85 or so sites. This loop has a lot of 30 amp. It does have a few 50 amp. And they are a mix of full hookup and no sewer sites. They are all tagged on the electrical boxes too. And they're color coded on the map, so if you're driving through, it's easy to find. Now this is going back into A loop, and A loop is spread out a little bit bigger. This one is over 100 sites in this loop. And this first part of A loop is just a short loop. It comes out here in just a moment, where we'll make a right to be parallel to the main road, and you'll go into the larger part of A loop then. There are more 50 amp sites here. In fact, according to their map, everything in this section is 50 amp, and it looks like it's about maybe 50-50 between sewer sites and non-sewer sites. It's not like a lot of parks that if you're near the water, you don't have sewer. These are just kind of sporadic, that a few sites will have sewer and then a few won't. Here on the right-hand side, another whole playground area, horseshoes. They've got all kinds of little activities in through the green space there.
It was a lot more family oriented.
Yes, yeah. And there are a lot more bigger rigs back in this area because of being all 50 amp. Now as we come back here, you'll start to see these little white signs on the right hand side as we go around the curve. And those white signs designate those spots as being horse trailer parking. So it is friendly for horse trailing, and there's a horse corral in there. You can also take your horse on some of these trails too. There is Wi-Fi through the park. It is a paid-for service.
And it was a little sketchy for us.
Yeah, our Verizon was iffy. T-Mobile was about non-existent. So internet was a little sparse.
Yeah, streaming was a challenge sometimes.
Plus, when we were here, the later in the stay was closer to the eclipse, and the park was very full because Lake Whitney is right there at the line of totality. Dumpsters there as we leave the section. We're going to come back here again just a very short ways, and we'll come to a sign that'll tell us we go straight to the lake or we turn right for the pool. And it's not just the pool. We've got a loop here Now there's no RV camping back here, but there is a lot of parking along the way. Everything here is scenic. Everything here is buried in nature. It's really nice. So another pool area back here, another shower house, and then you also have the lodge over there on the right. This is their pool. They do have the hot tub there. The pools are open every day. They are not heated, so enter at your own risk. In the basement of the lodge, you'll see a fitness room, and you'll see their game room. This is where the pool table is, and this is kind of their little social hangout.
Yeah.
Above that is an open deck where if your kids are in the pool, you could sit there and watch. There's also in the upstairs a few more games, some meeting space, a TV and social area.
This is a beautiful area.
Yeah. And then in the basement in the other end is their laundry. Now the laundry facility is small, but this is as busy as I ever saw while we were there. There's 4 washers, 4 dryers. So it's not a large laundry, but it seemed like it was enough to do the job. Now we're coming back out of this loop, back out to the main road. And as beautiful as the scenery has been so far in this park, this was the topper for me.
Yes, it was.
We're going to make a right and go just a short ways down here. And this is kind of the far end of the park. As we get down here, there will be a parking lot that'll be off on the right. A lot of people would walk down here. A lot of people would ride their e-bikes down here. But we also have seen half a dozen cars at a time in this parking lot. Parking lot goes off right here to the right. And it's a nice big lot. And if you go right straight ahead, you'll see this. It says it's Army Corps of Engineers land that's maintained by Thousand Trails. And it says on the map 50 to 100 yard hike, and that's all it is to get back here to Lake Whitney.
Yeah.
There's great fishing back there. There's all kinds of wildflowers everywhere you look. Nice trails that go around the lake.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And bluebonnets were definitely out.
It must have had a lot of rain this year.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the color of that water.
What a pretty area.
Yeah.
Well, Cathy, what did you think about our stay at Thousand Trails Lake Whitney?
This is really, really nice. I love this park.
It is so peaceful. It's so quiet. It is just, you're enveloped with nature. It's a great way to camp.
That's right.
Speaking of a great way to camp, Thousand Trails has been a lifesaver for us and many other people that are full-time, part-time, weekenders. We stayed here over a prime time, right when the eclipse came through Texas, and we were right at the line of totality, and we stayed for nothing.
That's right.
Not many people can say that with the way prices got changed around over the eclipse.
Yep.
But this is a great way for anybody to camp, save money, and have a great time. And if you want more information on that, check the description below our video, and you'll find a way to save yourself some money on it and make it very easy and very painless. With that, if you've enjoyed the video, leave us a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please hit the button that'll pop up right up here at the end of the video and Also ring that notification bell at that time, and that way you'll know when every one of our videos come out.
And thank you for following us as we follow the moon.